You know, I don't know about you guys out there, but when I hear liberal women talk, politicians, I wonder, what would it be like to live with them? What would it be like to be around it every day? And I got a couple of sound bites here just to, listen to under that, those auspices or with that frame of mind. Kamala Harris is considered to be one of the front runners for the Democrat presidential nomination in 2020. She's in the Senate Judiciary Committee. She was out there, one of the group of people that was savaging Brett Kavanaugh. And she was, Homeland Security Committee, she's on that committee too, held a confirmation hearing for the Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE nominee Ron Vitello. And during the Q&A, here is Kamala Harris asking Vitello about the Ku Klux Klan. Now, this is the ICE nominee. Here goes.
Why would we call them domestic terrorist group?
Because they tried to use fear and force to change political environment.
And what was the motivation for the use of fear and force?
It was based on race and ethnicity.
Right. Are you aware of the perception of many about how the power and the discretion at ICE is being used to enforce the laws? And do you see any parallels?
I do not see any parallels between
I'm talking about perception.
Officers and agents.
I'm talking about perception.
I do not see a parallel between what is constitutionally mandated as it relates to enforcing the law.
Are you aware that there's a perception?
I see no.
Are you aware that there's a perception
that puts ICE in the same category as the KKK? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, it is. Are you aware? Are you aware of the perception? Perception of who? Her lunatic base. Are you aware there's a perception out there that ICE is in the same category as the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan? Now, this woman believes this. Do not think that she is just articulating for her base and that she is just pontificating, trying to get her base revved up to support her. She believes this. They all do. And it's not just ICE. These are the same people, Black Lives Matter, the cops are guilty of this or that. There is an all-out assault on the vestiges of law and order, on the premise that law and order is only for the benefit of white males, the patriarchy, and women who sign up with them, i.e. marry them. Women who sell out to the patriarchy, white women and white men, predominantly white Christians, especially if they're Irish. You know how the Irish and cops are. And then they wink nod at you. All of this is the modern equivalent of the KKK. Why? Why, they're pursuing people of color and they're calling them illegal simply because they want a better life. They're sneaking into the United States. So here you have a woman that's literally advocating for this dilution, this watering down, this assault on the country. And now attacking law enforcement as something akin to the KKK because they're seeking to enforce the law. So she kept going with this. Are you aware of a perception that the way the discretion, imagine this.
Are you aware of a perception that the way that the discretion...
I see no parallel.
I'm not finished.
I see none.
I'm not finished. Are you aware that there's a perception that ICE is administering its power in a way that is causing fear and intimidation, particularly among immigrants and specifically among immigrants coming from Mexico and Central America? Are you aware of that perception?
I do not see a parallel between the power and the authority that ICE has to do its job and the agents and officers who do it professionally and excellently with lots of compassion.
Can you imagine living with this, a woman like this, who this is what animates her, informs her every day, talking about things, to compare? We need to be concerned about the impressions, the perceptions of illegal immigrants from Mexico and Central America that they think you people in ICE are the KKK. They didn't even know what the KKK was. So what we're supposed to be aware of their perception. Are you aware that illegal immigrants in Mexico and Central America hate you? So what? What does that have to do with enforcing the law? Anyway, let me get back to the phones. Mark?